I will oppose any attempts by the government to award itself powers to raise or lower tariffs through the back door. Photo Getty Team 6 Hours Friday, September 22, 2017. Peter Dowd is the Labour MP for Bootle and Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury. The River Mersey has been the lifeblood of Liverpool and its surrounding towns, including my constituency of Bootle, for longer than anyone can remember. But the Port of Liverpool, like the river itself, has seen the economic ebbs and flows over the years affect our communities for better and for worse. In its own right, the port has become a significant player, not only of UK trade and exports, but also global trade. In 2014, it saw £36 billion worth of goods flow through it in exports and imports. Make no mistake, in Merseyside we know the importance of frictionless trade. This is why I have been increasingly disturbed by the lack of clarity and vagueness from Conservative government on plans for UK customs in the post-Brexit world. It's also why I am waiting attentively to read the government's upcoming white paper on the issue. It is not just the picture of lorry queues on the way into ports across the country, a bone of contention in my constituency, that should concern us. It is the everyday reality of British exporters at risk of facing complex customs procedures and tariffs if the right arrangement is not reached. A potential £4 billion bill as it stands, the Prime Minister continues to listen with a tin ear to the growing concerns of UK manufacturers who are staring the cost of this government's botched Brexit in the face. A cost which would affect up to 180,000 UK traders and cost them over £4 billion a year. This uncertainty is only exacerbated by the government's failed economic policies, which have resulted in our economy growing slower than our European neighbors, and with the OECD predicting that 2018 looks set to see the UK's slow economic growth continue. While the government remains keen to tout technology as its magic solution to customs post-Brexit, ministers have offered no specifics over what a new customs system would look like and whether it would even be ready in time. At the same time, there remain huge underlying questions as to whether the current Customs Declaration Services program can deal with the sheer workload and pressure post-Brexit. A newer system is no substitution for a fully resourced and staffed HMRC. It is baffling to believe that, while Brexit will see the UK take control of its customs, the Conservatives are cutting staff at HMRC, ironically in my constituency with a major port in it. In fact, from 2010 the number of HMRC staff has fallen by 17%. Even with a transitional arrangement with the EU, the government must recognize the urgent need to increase HMRC's budget and staff. There has also been little recognition by the Treasury of the enormous task of preparing over 30 government departments and public bodies, as well 100 local authorities who will all be affected by a new customs arrangement. Nor does there seem to have been much thought given to the need to ensure that EU ports are also ready for Brexit. British exporters face the very real risk of huge disruption to their supply chains. The government must not make a power grab. All of this, of course, remains theoretical. It is impossible for industry, government departments and our EU partners to prepare for post-Brexit customs until they know the details of any transition deal reached. Until then, there remains huge uncertainty over what will be needed for customs post-Brexit and when will it be needed by. As each day passes, this uncertainty brings with it an economic cost as employers decide to relocate jobs and investors consider the added financial burden that tariffs and delays at the border would bring. The government's white paper on post-Brexit customs has much to answer. Most importantly, on the powers Parliament should have over any changes to our customs regime. The customs bill, when it reaches Parliament, must outline the legislative framework for post-Brexit customs. As Labour's Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, I will oppose any attempts by the government to award itself powers to raise or lower tariffs through the back door. The imposition or lowering of tariffs has the power to kill off or promote whole sectors of the economy. Such power must be used responsibly and be subject to proper parliamentary oversight, not another power grab by a Conservative government incapable of leading our country. In news.co.uk